want to say, I don't think making this video would be the best idea, as I really don't want any more drama surrounding
me.
This will really negatively affect my mental health. I just want things to get better for myself. I hope you understand.
Mike Curtis, aka 𝙢𝙤𝙙𝙨, aka 𝙤𝙤𝙙𝙨, and aka Chaotic Brick Studios, is a disturbing person who has a very questionable backstory. He is a notorious figure from asking underage girls if they would like to date him. Obviously, majority of them have rejected him, and some of them already have partners. Now, you may be thinking, well, at least none of them accepted his proposal of a relationship, but you still gotta realize the intentions behind his morality, because it all stems from one source. For those of you who are new to my channel, or for those who do not remember Kira the Hedgehog, Kira is a notorious person for many reasons. However, she plays a very key role in all of this, and she is a victim of 𝙤𝙤𝙙𝙨. And Mike Curtis dated Kira when she was around 17, and you know what age he was? 23 years old. And here's my problem. In the federal law in the USA, if the two participants live in different states, the age of consent is 18. But if both participants live in the same state, then the age of consent of that state will apply. And I ask, did he do anything sexual to the girls he attempted to date? And then he says, not physically, as I never met half of the people I dated on here IRL. I think that's where people get confused. However, despite it not being physical, any forms of online sexual activities that prohibits him from doing anything with said law of the state would classify as statutory. You may assume that he's referring to adult women here who are 18 and over, however, but he did dated Kira before she turned 18. And the concerning part about this is that he tried to do this to other underage girls as well. Despite him not trying to do any physical sexual acts with these girls, he did do something illegal called ERP or sexting. Physical or not, simulating sexual activities with underage people are not good. Who would have thought of that? And at one point, he did admit it to all the experience he has done with these said people. The worrying part is that he claims that he will have a temporary retirement from YouTube. I'm gonna be honest folks, if someone has been caught having feelings with underage people, they do not have the rights to come back into a platform where they can get a following. Even though yes, I do believe these people should seek some sort of therapy, they do not have the right to come back into a platform where they can do the same sort of actions again. If they cannot be locked up, they should be prohibited from doing the same crime again. And what disgusts me about 𝙤𝙤𝙙𝙨 is that he tried to label his victims as enemies, or the people who criticize him as enemies. And he says he cannot give his passions of making videos. And since he catered towards a younger demographic, it just gives me a red flag of potential safety hazards of if his fans start to follow him and chat with him. And speaking of which, I would like to present to you guys that this 25-year-old man hired a very young boy on his own with no supervision. Despite him claiming the parents are aware of him being involved, Mike Curtis did not inform the parents of his previous history and experience with underage people. He even started to blame one of his critics who was exposing him, to the point where his family had to be involved and apologize to said critics because obviously Mike was doing a lot more damage to people than he realized. It's just disgusting to me that this man tries to blame one of his victims of his actions, when he could have did one Google search away and then he would prevent a lot of catastrophes from happening. And then he attempts to tell me that he's very autistic and can get easily manipulated very easily. And this is my problem. If you are a person that could easily be manipulated on the internet because you have a disability, you should probably not be on the internet to begin with, because you could cause a safety hazard with people around you. Either you do damage to them or they do damage to you. But in this case, Mike Curtis has damaged a lot of people around him. Before we get into the recording, there is going to be some cuts within the audio due to some parts of the discussion being either irrelevant or for the sake of cutting time. If you wish to hear the full unedited version, I would highly suggest you contact me or my crew about this, because there are some topics that could be discussed in a future video. However, I'm mostly going to be focusing on Mike Curtis in this video. With that being said, let's get started.
Well, anyways, let's get started. So, Kira is caught up to my attention and my friends right here that there's this particular person that you had some history with, and he goes by the name of Sonicify. Do you know him?
Who's Sonicify?
Or how about this? Hooplatoons.
Oh yes, him. I known him because when I was like a minor, I believe.
Right. And you got into a relationship with him when you were a minor, right?
Yes, because he did ask me out.
So he asked you out first.
Yes. Or maybe was it I don't know. I can't remember.
Interesting. And did you tell him that it was okay for him to date you?
I mean, I did when I was a minor, but at the same time it was bad. I wasn't thinking clearly. I was a minor. I make mistakes.
Right. Robin, Sped Noodles, would you like to say something?
Alright, so, yeah, that's, we're interviewing about that guy. Basically, he is stating that you manipulated him into the relationship. Now, I do not believe that because, again, you were a minor at that time, so
Yeah.
I do not believe that you had the ability to manipulate him. He is an adult and he has to have agency for himself. Even if he does have autism or not, you have to be responsible for your choices that you make.
True. True, and when I was dating him, Sped Noodles, I didn't know that he would do some bad stuff like this. But now that I knew about his true colors, now I blocked him.
By the way, that's Robin.
But I only shared the video that I made with him because a lot of people asked, do I voice act Rouge? Yes, I do.
Okay. Yeah, we're just here to get your side of the story of, like, your experience with this guy. Because, honestly, to God, I'm be honest with you, I do not trust him with any minors. We already had a pre-interview with this guy. I do not trust him. So,
I I don't trust him either, even though I only shared his video because I only wanted to see my voice being seen by a bunch of people, not his. Like, I'm not friends with him. The only reason I tagged him in that video is because I was only being friendly to him.
Okay. I mean, that's understandable.
Like, I was pretending to, not actually.
So, would you, like to share your experience with this guy? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, I do know that around the age of 16 to 17-ish, he was, like, I think being groomed by other people as well.
Yes, I was being groomed by other people. I remember also in 2023 that I was groomed by a person named Joshua, and he had a profile picture that was, Fleetway. And
I mean, you're fine. I'm gonna be honest. This is actually my first encounter with you, I believe. So, I just met you. By the way, hello. I'm Robin. So it's nice to meet you, Kira. I can assure you that nobody's gonna yell. If they do, I will kick them out of the GC because we're adults and we are here to talk civilly. So don't worry, you're not gonna get yelled at, and you know it's fine. You know I also stutter as well, so don't worry about it. So after the events of Joshua, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, right? That's where Hoplatoon came in?
I don't know. Like, I did met that person that is named Sonicify probably back then before I even bumped into Joshua. I believe that was back then last year when I didn't even met all of you guys yet. I believe, like, fast forward all the way back. I believe that was when I was, like, a minor. Like, I was, like, 17 to 16, and I was still in high school.
Do you mind telling us your experience with Hoplatoon?
Oh yes. I met Hoplatoon on YouTube when I first bumped into him when it was on my first YouTube channel called Chill Vive Cura. But it was on YouTube and it had a bunch of subscribers, but that was when I had a tablet, but it got broken and smashed.
I got a question. When you was in the relationship with this guy, did he try to ask for anything, or did he did anything that made you uncomfortable? Like, did he ask for nudes? Did he do, like, anything that could potentially be problematic to you?
I mean, I don't know. He did ask with permission if he did make me uncomfortable, because he did ask if he could have. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. Please say it.
If you want, well, this is an open discussion, so I think you're free to say.
He said he wanted to have sex with me.
Okay. And at that time, so that would make, since you were a minor at that time, that would make...
I don't know, but I really don't know who asked first. Was it me or him? I don't know.
Okay. I mean...
I just don't...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just don't know because I was confused at the time when I did got asked that question by him. And I was like, excuse me, but how old are you? And he told me his age, and apparently I did look up the age of consent in his state because he did tell me his age. And how old is he now?
He's 26 now.
So he was 27 when I met him. Wait, not 27, I meant 25. Blech. Yes, 25.
Interesting.
So Skinny, it could be a possibility that he probably...
Oh dear.
I know you guys are only trying to get my side of the story and try to make sure I stay out of trouble with this person, like I am. It's just I was only showing that video because I wanted people to hear my voice acting. That's all, Skinny Bones.
It's interesting. He told us that he didn't know what age he was at that time, but he said he thought, oh, I'm 23. But then, since he told us that he was like 25 at that time, then that would mean that he was older than we initially thought. But,
Yeah.
yeah, because, now that you told us that he did, had some intentions to commit, intercourse with you, that just paints a new picture in our minds. Because what's concerning is he didn't just do it, he didn't just try to have a relationship with you, but, when you guys eventually part ways, I heard that he tried to have relationships with other 17-year-old girls. And
Yeah, which was disgusting to me, and I found out because his other friends told me about it, and they left the goddamn Discord server. I did too because I was disgusted.
yeah, and there's also some concerning information as well that in his other channel, his other channel is called Chaotic Brick Studios. We saw that he has a hired 12-year-old boy for his voice acting, and we were very concerned about that.
That is kind of disturbing to me because why would he do that stuff? Like, he didn't tell me anything like that.
Yeah.
So, in conclusion, I really do not trust Mike Curtis because I have a feeling that he might do something similar to this again. Am I saying we should all attack this guy? Obviously no, but we should all be on our edge with this guy. We should be cautious, we should be aware considering his actions, and I'm gonna say this one more time. I do not want anyone to harass anyone. Now, it's obviously up to the victims on whether or not they want to take legal action on this guy for perhaps sexual harassment or something like that, but they're the judge, not me. They're the ones that can take legal actions, not me. But with that being said, this is the disturbing truth about Mike Curtis, Hooplatoons, Sonify, and of course Chaotic Brick Studios. But with that being said, I'm gonna go back to the graves and tell you more disturbing stories like this. And to those who were affected by this man, I really hope you guys are doing well. But again, I'm gonna go back to the graves and hope you guys have a good day. See ya.